What up guys, Kurt here. We've had a ton of questions about how to improve pulling yourself under the bar in the snatch. And now a lot of coaches have a lot of different ideas about how to do this the best way, but I always try to find a way to meet in the middle. So you've got a lot of different types of lifters, but you can categorize people who have a problem catching, basically in people who have a problem catching super deep in the hole and people who have a problem with power snatching. Generally, people with a really big pull have a problem with the power snatch. They'd much rather just catch ass bottom, just in an ass to grass position. And then the people who can't catch very stable in the ass to grass position would usually rather power snatch. So I try to take the strengths of those two types of lifters and meet in the middle. Now I've got some classic drills that you can do, and we're gonna go over one of those. And that's called the tall snatch. There's another drill that I really like to add to my warm-up called the snatch pull under. That's what I call it. I think Klokov calls it the same, and we'll talk about that. That's for the bottom of the movement. Now for the top of the movement, catching, I like the no feet snatch. Learning to pull under the bar by not moving your feet and just literally pulling yourself under the bar, really activating the traps and getting that turnover snappy. Then I like to add in some layers of complexity. That would be the low hang snatch with no feet, and then the low hang power snatch plus overhead squat without moving your feet. So we're gonna go over the platform and I'll show you how to get down on those. Now for the tall snatch, this is a very simple drill that's very effective for a lot of people. The issue is you can't use a lot of weight, but it is gonna get you kind of activating the traps and elbows and pulling down under the bar. The premise, again, is just getting this tall position. That's gonna be hips and knees locked out, feet flat on the floor, and you're basically going to pull into the bottom position. So the bar is going to start in the power position, but you're not going to be in the power position. It's going to be in the hips. You stand locked out. And you're going to move your feet into the catch position. So that's the tall snatch. You can add weight slowly. A really, really good lifter is going to be able to do the 50 to 60% range on that lift. Then the snatch pull under. I love adding these into my warm-up because it really gets the feeling of pulling down into the hole. I'm gonna add just a little bit of weight for these. Start with empty bar, but it helps to add just a little bit of weight to this drill to get you really pulling into the bottom. So in the snatch pull under, we're gonna start the movement on the knees. We call this the squatting quad position. This is a great ankle smashing drill for the warm-up. We're going to start in the quad smash position. Get your snatch grip on the bar. This is really going to involve pulling back down to the hole. So what we're going to do is pull under the snatch from this position. So that is the snatch pull under. So those are two drills. You're going to help the lifter that has a hard time pulling and snapping down into the hole. Adding those into your warm-ups, great practice for that type of person. Now, for the person who would rather power snatch, we're gonna start at the top, okay? We're gonna start with the no feet snatch. Now in the no feet snatch, basically you're gonna leave your feet in the position that you pull from and pull under the bar. Now, I like to add these into power snatch as well. You don't see that a lot. A lot of coaches, they'll do no feet, no hook snatches. I like to add it to the power because it gets people are more confident overall pulling under the bar and catching in a power snatch. Find a happy place between your regular setup and your catch position. Square up your toes. Just keep your feet still throughout the entirety of the movement. So staying planted is going to teach you how to pull under a lot better. Now, as you get better and better at pulling under, we're going to start adding in a deeper catch. That's one level of complexity. And B, an overhead squat. So once you pepper in those different layers of complexity, a deeper catch or an overhead squat, you can start working your way down towards the bottom. So experiment when you're doing these with different heights. Start catching high, adding a couple inches to the catch every time. So when you start, no feet snatch. Next one, catch a little bit lower until finally you're comfortable. Just catching, all right? And then the next drill, we added a no feet power snatch. Just gonna be doing no feet power snatch plus overhead squat with a pause in the hole. So again, keep your feet planted, power snatch, pull under hard, move your feet, and overhead squat. So there you've got a few of my favorite drills for working down into the hole in the snatch. Again, tall snatch and the snatch pull under for learning to get in that ass bottom position, and for learning to pull under and get closer to that ass bottom position, the power snatch, working your way down over time. And last thing to remember, this is accessory work. The tall snatch and the snatch pull under, those are just things you add into your warm up. The no feet snatches and power snatches, you can do them with a little bit of weight, but again, this is just technique work. It's gonna be super important after you get used to pulling under, learning to move your feet out to the catch position. That's very important to snatch. So again, this is just accessory work. You don't wanna max out on these lifts.